Alright everyone, welcome back to another video of The Dimensionalist. I'm a Dimensionalist. Look, today's topic is going to be about the Pleadian Gray Hybrid, supposedly the highest government secret, Area 51. Possibly, other than I think time travel would be a little bit more sufficient than that, and traveling to parallel universes and stargates. But supposedly there's this conspiracy that they genetically modify, create beings from Pleadian aliens and gray aliens, the Pleadian gray hybrid. That's why it's Pleadian, two alien species combined as one. So the point is, let me give you some history on the Pleadians. Pleadians is, from the Pleiades star system. On Barbara Handclough and Barbara Messiniak's. Barbara Messiniak says they're bird type, humanoid bird type people. I think Barbara Handclough says they were humanoid beings, but she takes the same account as Barbara Messiniak. And the other person, Billy Meyer's account of Pleiadians, is that they're humanoid. They look like humans. So, and they're from Pleiades star system and stuff like that. So that's them. They're high spiritual advanced beings. They have higher DNA strands than human beings, ascended through light bodies and stuff like that. And their soul, they can they can have souls to incarnate, and they can take upon their form in the higher light body or the lower physical body or human beings. So supposedly we're great descendants of the Pleiadians, or Lyra, or Lyran star system, supposedly. So now, millions of fucking years ago, that's all I gotta say, millions of fucking years ago, hundreds of millions of years ago, or something like that. So now, okay, you got the Pleiadians, you got two accounts there. Oh, found a penny. I keep all money. Their account on them, and the Greys. The Greys, of course, from Zeta Reticuli star system, or they're human beings from the future, supposedly, and came to a past to help get genetic material, which is here in our present time, and or just far fuck away in space. Because I'm weighing as much options as possible from much sources. Not that I'm saying, I'm guessing or anything like that. This is what I've known and read. And the Greys, supposedly, the genetic material of their bodies, is they can't reproduce anymore. They use cloning to create themselves, that in order to create their species more times over again, because there's a disintegration or degrading of their matter, of their genetic form, when they keep cloning each other over and over, a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone of a clone. It's like internet data put on a disk. You copy that disk, someone makes a copy of that copy, and of that copy there's bit rot in place there, and memory starts to be depleted after one point, because so many copies in its original file format. Original file. Same thing with data. It's memory. It's just like it's what it holds, what is going to be in place in reality. So the Greys need this genetic material, and supposedly they can't feel emotions. They're more mental type beings. So they're trying to create a being so they can continue their lineage of their beings, the Greys, and so they can access the soul incarnations of the human. So if they put Pleadian gray, they'll have the gray genetics, and they'll have the Pleadian genetics and the Gray's genetics, and the Pleadian genetics will have the soul incarnation. And supposedly souls can't incarnate into gray bodies, which is weird. Like, how would that work? How would I even know they're them to do stuff? I thought a soul would have to be present in order for it to be a living being. So supposedly they want to create a being on the Pleadians and the Greys in order to access the soul matrix of Emmanuel, which Emmanuel is the soul giver in the Pleiades star system. So we did Billy Meyer's account. This is not even mentioned in Barbara Handclough's or Barbara Messiniak's mentioning of the Pleiadians, but according to Billy Meyer's account, when he contacted the Pleiadians and stuff, and says Jez, which is Semjase. That's how the word is said. Says Jez. That's how I pronounce it. So and you got the aliens. You have the Greys, and supposedly have they need the soul incarnation. So supposedly, for Billy Meyer's account, the aliens need are Emmanuel is the master soul, one of the oldest souls in a Pleiadian star system, and over foresees our galaxy. And the soul incarnations of what physical bodies get taken place. Souls go into physical bodies on Earth because our physical DNA, double helix, 12-strand DNA, can hold soul form and soul merge, for ascension, light body, and stuff like that. But supposedly the Greys can't do that shit, right? Because they're more mental type beings. They have no emotions, and they have no emotional body, whatnot that I know of, So, and their soul, a soul. I mean, when they're created, a clone, they're created. There's no soul there. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to make this as clear as possible about, what this government supposed secret or conspiracy with the Greys wanting to abduct humans to create the Pleadian Grey hybrid, and I'll go in more detail. So now you got the Greys wanting to get the soul incarnation of Emmanuel, which is the Pleadian DNA. The Pleadian DNA is supposedly the Jews, Judaic people, and those star seeds incarnate there have DNA, the patterns, because Greys can't access higher dimensional states of light bodies and stuff, right? So it's not like they can go there and interface and ask Pleadians for DNA code patterns and stuff and the genetic material, because it's not physically there. They have a physical body. It's like, I'm not sure what type of base it is. Of course, we're carbon here on Earth. So they're not going to be able to access that light frequency. They're going to access that frequency to get there to communicate with those beings to receive the genetic material to, to receive the soul inside their form, because their form's disintegrating after so many clones. And so I was like, okay, you got the Greys supposedly from the future, and they still have a nuclear holocaust, come back to the past or whatever. Or you got the Greys from actually Zeta Reticuli, if they come here in their spaceship, at high amounts of speed and torque, and can, add, remove the particles in front of their ship to create the torque, and nothing to interfere with their torque rate to go so fast, speed of light, and there's no friction. No any type of friction. Not saying there's friction in space, but no friction whatsoever in space for them to slow them down their ship to travel. So when they get here, they're present here. If and or these Greys are from Zeta Reticuli, they have to travel here to get genetic material also, because supposedly there's Zeta Greys, and then there's Zetas, and then there's Greys, and then the Greys are supposedly humans from the future. So now, okay, you got these two Greys Zetas or whatever, wanting to create supposedly this genetic being. So this genetic being needs to access. So they come to Earth because we're humans. We can access the light body ascension, double helix, 12-strand DNA. We can go from double helix, 12-strand DNA, access the light body. So they're going to take and want our genetic material and modify it with their material, with their Grey body, Zeta body, either from the future or Zeta Reticuli star system, and create a being, the Pleadian Grey hybrid. You can look it up and everything. It's just real as fuck, man. There's YouTube videos on everything, man. I've studied it and read it in books before too, published by the Light Technology Publishing company. So yeah, I got this video. The videos I've seen and things, and did research way before I started watching YouTube, and books I've read. So now the Pleadians, they come here to humans on Earth because we have that DNA that modifies. So they make the being as one. They can access the soul incarnation, and the being can communicate with the light body and communicate with more thoroughly with their species and human beings. So I guess soul incarnations can start occurring with both Pleadian genetic material, also with the DNA of the Greys and the DNA of humans, which is part descendant of, according to I think Billy Meyer's account, on the aliens can receive souls, you know, so these people can actually create a being that can receive the soul, access the soul incarnation of Emmanuel, because that's the 4 C's of giving of souls. And it's just like someone has a map plan out, and there's squares, and you drop the squares into circles, but it ain't gonna drop. But if you roll balls in it, those are the souls, and they drop in and incarnate. How do you do that? You know, looking from a different perspective to give you insight of what's trying to go on. That soul can't fit into a being that is a gray, you know, the living substance. Not saying that grays or zetas or the grays from the future are not, you know, real beings. Supposedly they can't access soul incarnation. It's the purpose of them wanting to do this. So supposedly Hitler and stuff trading the Jews and stuff. That's one thing I think, is that there was genetic mass experiment with Hitler back in the day. And trading genetic material, human beings themselves, for technology, because these Zetas have been around so long, they got the technology, and they were given straight to. You notice there was a big boom in technology around that time, and of course, the United States was lucky to get some SS Soviets. SS Soviets, and some of the SS scientists, and yeah. So now, okay, back then he traded, those things. Now you got, that's what occurred then. That's what I believe happened. There's this person that communicated with the Greys, and supposedly, 33rd degree Freemasons and OTO devotees and Jack Parsons know working wormholes in space-time and letting interdimensional and negative entities in through this dimension. So you got like people magic casting and stuff, and prayers and shit, and fucking Jack Parsons. If you look it up, this shit's real. It's just fucking articles in a real fucking person. So they created fucking had a fucking engine that could fucking rip wormhole in space-time and fucking allow a fucking wormhole to come in. That's what happened with Roswell, because they already knew something was gonna fucking happen, and it went there and no one else could fucking see it, because the spaceship and the portal opened up there, and the fucking shit went flying in, So they already knew that was going to occur. It's not just some shit got shot out the sky. It came out the sky through a wormhole that was created by Jack Parsons. And 33rd degree Freemasons, OTO devotees. Supposedly some magical shit had to occur, religion and science. But if you think about it, Albert Pike said that science and religion go hand in hand. You can't, if you don't have both, fuck's the point of living, basically. Not that he said in that manner, but that's the point he's making. So now you got, this event occurring, Zeta tickling Greys coming in and shit, and then they want to create, either if they're from a parallel universe, don't get me wrong, either from a parallel universe or some shit, and trying to get in a parallel universe matter with our fucking matter from this universe. You never fucking know the possibilities when it comes to Pleadian gray hybrid and a fucking government secret. That's my fucking point, man, I think about this shit sometimes. So supposedly, and I read on the website, it used to be monstrous.com, monstrous.vampires.com, vampire.monstrous.com, and aliens.monstrous.com, but the domain don't work no more. I read all this shit up on that website, had a lot of good fucking information. They took that website down. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude wants fucking $1 billion for the fucking domain name, but who want that domain now? I could like aliens.com and then explain all the shit there again, But of course, the information came from all sources, but that's scattered about now. So, check this out. So, the humans, they can consume water, right? If we bathe, like my other videos of Ascension, if you bathe with only water, herbal soaps, and bathe with only water and drink water, purified water, and bathe with purified water as much as possible, no fluoride shit is about government and things, through filtration systems, you can increase the DNA strands in your body. There's 12 strands DNA mentioned in Barmaciniak's book, Bringers of the Dawn. So if those people were Pleadians, and you create the human DNA, and you create the being that can have higher strands of DNA that we eat through our skin. Now check this out. The Greys, supposedly, the reason why they smell bad, supposedly, is because when they travel in their ships for so long, and however long, they sit in chambers of goo of their food or whatever, blah, 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 and it stinks. So, and they eat through their skin. They don't eat through their mouth. They don't have digestive organs, so they eat through their fucking skin. So if they're humans from the future, they still eat through our skin, because you put some in your skin, it can go through your skin, your body absorbs it. Vitamins, that's why people put herbal products and you know, different products, blah blah blah. The best thing to do, that's why I say put herbal products you eat through your skin. If you soak yourself in water three or four times a day, up to 8 times a day, cycle through the water, get new water and stuff like that, you will create your being, your overall being will feel different because you're absorbing water through the skin. You're starting to eat through the skin. And supposedly, remember, Darwin's theory said that we came from the water. And I don't believe in evolution or nothing like that, or I could believe in evolution. It's very skeptical. Think about it. So, yeah, you got the aliens and shit, fucking sitting in their own goo to eat and things and stuff like that. And probably that's how they, you know, retain their nutrients and things for their body and stuff like that, and their supposed physical structure, you know. So if they create a being that's got both, they can intake water at that point. It might have a digestive system, you know, genetically modified, or create a being. And then that's where cattle mutilation comes in. Supposedly, you know, cattle mutilated, aliens beaming, fucking mutilating cows and shit. I tell you why, because supposedly, I know the monkey's the closest, supposedly, traits to a human being, blah blah blah, but the cow's uterus is the only thing that can be removed, right, and placed somewhere. The only thing you can place somewhere in an incubator type system and have the being live there. You know, their genetic experience can go on inside the cow's uterus and create a being there, because it's creating a synthetic environment for the creation of a being with the Greys and the Pleadians, for that being to actually grow and live, because this is cell manipulation we're doing here, and DNA strands and stuff like that, but on a whole nother fucking level. So supposedly, yeah, when people want to get a woman's uterus and this and this, because it wouldn't be compatible. That's why you can't fuck a dog, have a woman dog or whatever grow up. You see what I'm saying? So supposedly the cow is the being on Earth that has the correct type of uterus. Its configuration, cow mutilation can be remove its fucking uterus as the exact fucking thing that the Greys need, and human beings. And of course, they're people and scientists, they're supposed scientists, whatever it may be called, to create a being, Pleadian Grey hybrid. So either they're making the being and inserting it, because that's an artificial insemination at that point, because you're inseminating something from something else, and artificial insemination, of course, will be with a woman and stuff, and inseminate into her. So, you know, so they would create an incubator out of this uterus of a cow. So I say, well, cow mutilation, this shit's real, dude. It's just people say just bring it up for nothing. And, you know, cattle and shit, that, believe me, they need them organs and parts so they can correctly grow and make the being Pleadian Grey hybrid a fucking success. I honestly believe they already created a Pleadian Grey hybrid, and it's like this little being and shit that's fucking incredibly fucking smart and stuff, and it's got a real fucking high mental, emotional capacity, and its spiritual body's fucking powerful as fuck. And it's got a good fucking physical form, has matter of either the humans matter, parallel universe matter from the fucking future, and or matter from fucking Zeta Reticuli star system, from another star system completely. So keep that shit in mind, man. You can look up all this stuff. Shit's fucking pretty fucking thorough with fucking, if you add up all the fucking statistics, calculate everything together, science behind it all. You just like, well, that won't fucking work. Well, have you ever tried this shit before? Do you know how any of this fucking stuff works? It fucking sounds completely fucking legitimate to me. Not saying there's be little cow babies flying the fuck around or nothing like that. Like my fucking uncle said when I try to explain to him all this other stuff. He's like, people like that like close off fucking entire fucking thing. But besides, you know, close off the entire topic about the whole subject instead of just listening what can go on. But for the Pleadian Grey hybrid, for something like that, completely fucking possible, man. Supposedly it can be placed there, you know, and used. So yeah, so now this is being created, and it can communicate, and the soul can insert itself into the Pleadian Grey hybrid, basically to access the soul incarnation of Emmanuel within the sector of the galaxy. Stuff like that, and or probably possibly more than likely have the light body ascension with the Greys matter and ascend that matter and stuff, and probably create revelation down to the matter form of the Greys too, and or be a spiritual healer. You never know. On the science crazy alien shit, also some spiritual antics be applied to this being. You never know what it can be doing, you know. So the Greys could speak telepathic, so they could telepathic with their humans and things. So it's like a mediator between the Greys and the Pleadians. Yeah, everyone, I hope y'all, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm gonna make another topic on this same exact subject, but in more in-depth detail. Like I never have a script planned. I take all my knowledge and put it in one video and explain as much as possible, so you can get a good heads up on, you know, some real shit that I've studied, and put all the shit together in one segment so y'all can read. So if I make another video, I'll probably read from some notes, references, give people their credit and things like that. But this is from what I've read in my own words. So other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed another video of the Dimensionalist. Remember, I'm a Dimensionalist. Peace.